This is Cast of Wonders, the fiction podcast for young adults featuring stories of the fantastic. Welcome. Today we present Black Hole Sun, a story by Kelly Owen and Alethea Contis. Residing in Destination, Pennsylvania, Kelly Owen spends her days as a number cruncher and her free time writing. She has edited many known authors above her on the totem pole, participated in several dozen writing panels over the years, and has spoken at the CIA headquarters in Langley. Her works include the novels 6 Days, White Picket Prisons, and Live Specimens, her collection Black Bubbles, and the novellas Waiting Out Winter and The Neighborhood, all available on Amazon, as well as a plethora of shorts, anthologies, and non-fiction pieces. Last summer, a collection of 4 novellas was released through Small Press as a limited lettered edition that many people missed out on. So these 4 tales will be out as individual ebooks and paperbacks in time for Christmas this year. She's also working on her first foray into the world of romance, and is wrapping up the first in a set of 3 chick-lit novels, not a series. For updates on all these and more, visit kellyowen.com. Alethea Contis will be familiar to regular listeners. Princess Alethea is the author of many shiny books for children of all ages. Her debut YA fairy tale novel Enchanted won the Gillette Burgess Children's Book Award in 2012 and was nominated for both the Andre Norton Award and the Audie Award in 2013. In addition, Enchanted was one of 35 books selected for World Book Night 2014. You can find out about World Book Night at worldbooknight.org/books/2014. Her novel Hero, set in the same world as Enchanted, was released on October the 1st. Alliteration Inc. also released Alethea's short story collection Wild and Wishful, Dark and Dreaming. And at Comic Book CityCon, Janet Lee and Alethea debuted the long-awaited Diary of a Mad Scientist Garden Gnome. You can find out more about Alethea and her work at aletheacontis.com. Your narrators today are myself and Michelle Restuccia. Michelle enjoys slowing down time in the middle of the night to read and review speculative fiction, because sleeping offspring are the best motivation. You can find out more about her rabid love of SFF, podcasting, and raising future geeklings at her blog, wakingdreamsblog.blogspot.com, or stalk her on Twitter at Mrs. Micah, or read her reviews at Tangent Online. Please check the show notes for details. And now, we've a tale to tell. Black Hole Sun by Kelly Owen and Alethea Contis. User profiles: Erica Sunshine Lukács, age 15, princesssunny@gmail.com, Twitter, Sunny Lou, following 22, followers 17. Seth Williams, age 17, notgoth555@gmail.com, Twitter, notgoth555, following 0, followers 1.
From princesssunny@gmail.com to notgoth555@gmail.com. Hey, Captain Blackheart. Mom was shopping today. She's having some weird cravings with this new baby. She and Ron haven't decided on a name yet. I'm calling him Surprise. Sunshine and Surprise. Won't we be a pair? Anyway, she bought a ham at the store. Do you know how hard it is to find a ham when it's not Thanksgiving? And I remembered that funny story you told me about the crazy homeless woman trying to shoplift that ham. I hadn't thought about that in forever. And then I remembered something else you said that day at the park, about how You were always crap at emails, but if I kept sending messages to the black hole, you'd read them. So, hi, and I hope you're okay. And I made an A in English. Can you believe it? And I painted my toenails blue. And I think Mom and I are going to see Memory of Angels at the Roxy on Friday night, and you're welcome to join us, even though I know you won't. But I had to ask anyway. You're always my first impossible thing before breakfast. Hugs, grass blades, and bubbles. XOX, Sunny.
Seth's laptop announced a new mail with a thin metallic ping. In the 2 years since his mother's suicide, Seth's muted shock has transformed into full-on victimhood with a twist of antisocial behaviour. The counsellors should have just called him emo and filed the papers. He hadn't spoken to Sunshine since the funeral. He would never again trust the female of the species not to crush him. He'd severed all ties to them, his grandmother, his father's sister, his best friend. But Sonny's contact with him continued as if nothing had happened. It didn't surprise him anymore, but it was starting to annoy him. Seth highlighted the email and hit delete. He hadn't read any of her attempts for the past year, and he wasn't starting now, but he couldn't bring himself to block her address or flag it as spam. Deleting each email was just another form of self-immolation, a virtual way for him to remember that he had some control over this semblance of reality he called life.
Ahoy, Captain Blackheart! The wind's blowing from the south today, and the squirrels are restless. I was thinking about you today. Okay, technically I saw you first, and that made me think about you. You turned down the hallway to Principal Harrison's office when I was walking to the bathroom during 4th period. It looked like you were being escorted. Well, I hope it was for something good. Chopping off all Dr. Nesbitt's ties is still my favorite prank of yours. That was so freaking awesome. You have mad skills, my friend. Don't you ever forget it. Does Principal Harrison's office still smell like wheat paste and shoe leather? I still maintain she's running an underground elf sweatshop. No way a principal's salary buys that many manicures. You didn't seem to be wearing prank face, though, so I hope you're okay. You know I'm always here if you want to talk. Our old swing set on the corner of James Park hasn't been demolished yet. Dad says it's going to be condos. I hope a ton of kids move in there and cry to the management because they don't have any swings to swing about and jump from and have secret meetings on. Would serve them right. No, it definitely wasn't prank face. I still remember all your faces. I still have that radar for you, too. The one that tells me whenever you've just entered and left the room. I didn't just notice you in the hallway. I knew you were there. I guess when you grow up with someone from birth, you never forget that. At least, I don't. Do you? As of today, my birthday is officially 6 months away. It feels like forever. I'm still planning on staying up till midnight and singing that song from The Sound of Music, because then it will be true. I will be 16 going on 17 then. You can come sing with me too, like we used to, on the swings. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone you really have a mushy center. Miss you, prank face. XOX, Sunny.
The email notification sound was Sunny. It was always Sunny. He'd seen her in the hallway. This email no doubt said what her open mouth hadn't been able to before he'd turned his back on her. She was always offering an opinion and a bubble-blowing, flower-picking, glitter-covered shoulder. He didn't want to hear it. He was sick of hearing it. She wouldn't have recognized the new counsellor at school, the highly educated head shrink they'd brought in just for him. He didn't want to hear it from them either. His mother was dead. Dead. Couldn't they all just accept it and move on? whatever. Seth highlighted the email and hit delete, but his stomach flipped as the email disappeared from the list. He didn't mind if it hurt. He just didn't want to care. For a moment he missed life the way it used to be, the way it would never be again. The moment passed.
Sunny Lou. Surprise baby is craving apples today. Granny Smith's, not Honeycrisp. Surprise and I are going to have a chat later about quality.
Seth remembered Mama Lukács and her love of all things Honeycrisp, her mouth-watering pies, her amazing cobbler still warm with ice cream, the way she'd rant about the perfection of that apple and how all others paled in comparison. Such seriousness over a simple thing, it had always made him giggle. He missed Sunny's parents some days, but seeing her mum only made the abyss of his own pain deepen. It reopened scabs and scars he desperately wanted to heal over. He was glad to know her mum was pregnant. The Lukács house had been so sad when she'd lost the baby. So quiet. He knew that kind of quiet now, understood it. It had happened the year he and Sunny were in 3rd grade. That was the first year they'd been allowed to swing on the swings by themselves. While he sat there, blissfully lost in memory, there was an update.
Sunny Lou. Missing a childhood friend is like missing baby teeth. You know there'll be more, but right now there's just a hole that can't enjoy apples.
Seth closed the laptop. He walked through the living room, slicing through the quiet with an invisible machete. His father mumbled something at the television, which was currently displaying a commercial for some insurance company. Seth wasn't sure if the program, the commercial, or life in general had Dad upset this time. He'd learned shortly after his mother's suicide to avoid that tone, and then his father as a whole. He grabbed his backpack, containing everything he'd need to survive in the event he decided to never come back, and left the house without a word. At the bus stop, he pulled out his phone and checked his messages. There were several unopened posts on Twitter. For a school day morning, Sunny had been busy.
Sunny Lou. Wow, Chicken Little told us once that the sky was falling. We should have listened. Wow. Wow. Oh my God.
Seth pushed his overgrown hair back from his eyes and stared at the nonsense tweet. Huh? Sunny wasn't one of those overly dramatic girls that constantly annoyed him at school. She was Sunny. She was fun and bubbly. What the hell drama could make her talk like this? Maybe Mama Lukács' hormones were messing with her more than apple cravings. Maybe she'd gotten a C on her history test. Maybe it was about a guy. God, he hoped not. Then he really would have to cut her loose.
Sunny Lou. We're in a bad made-for-TV disaster movie. Quick, change the channel. I'd happily live in Tubby Babyland forever. As long as I got to live.
As long as she got to live? What the hell? And Tubby Babyland was the worst show on TV. It should have been cancelled back when they were 10. Things must have gotten really ugly over at the house. Then Seth remembered his father. Maybe it wasn't just her house. Breaking news. The change in gravitational lensing of SGR-A was first noted by Norwegian astronomer Borak Kruger in 2008. Breaking news. Officials now stating initial figures were off and the trajectory of SGR-A has been recalculated at 94 days. Confused, Seth silently cursed his choice to turn Twitter off on his phone from midnight to 6 in the morning. He'd obviously missed something fairly important and now had to play catch-up on the news. He kept scrolling.
Sunny Lou. Sob. Oh God, there will be no surprise baby. I'll never meet my brother. Never turning 16 seems stupid now. It was a dumb song anyway.
No capital letters. That meant Sonny was really upset. Shit. Sonny's mum must have miscarried again. But why wouldn't Sonny have a birthday? The baby wasn't due until 2 months after. Breaking news. Leak of SGR-A causing panic across the globe. Major cities in US declaring martial law effective immediately. What the freak? Seth snapped his phone shut and looked around the neighbourhood. Several cars that should have been long gone, their occupants well on their way toward workplaces and daycares, sat untouched in driveways. The previous night's frost clung to windshields that hadn't been scraped. Not a single vehicle ran idle in its driveway, fogging up the early winter morning. He raised an eyebrow, spun on his heel, and headed back to the house. Once again, school was the least of his concerns. His father was still glued to the television, unshaved, in the t-shirt and sweatpants he'd slept in, half a cup of coffee sitting forgotten on the table in front of him. He didn't notice Seth, just like he hadn't noticed for the last 2 years. Seth tossed his backpack toward the center of his bedroom and flipped open his laptop. He checked the emails first, retrieving Sonny's last few from the garbage folder. The first was just Sonny being Sonny. He smiled at the childhood references she'd made in the second, but he was still pissed about the school counselling. Dad had told them it was unnecessary, especially after finding out they were going to charge it to his insurance after the first 3 sessions. But nothing explained the bizarre tweets. Out of habit, Seth clicked the toolbar link for the suicide support forum he'd lurked on since his mother's death. He trusted regular people, not anchors or actors, to tell him what was going on. He scanned the thread topics as the dark blue and tan page finished loading. Holy crap! Less than 3 months? Sagittarius A. Oversimplified or hyperbole? What's the point to healing now? Galactic suicide. Reporting end of world. Seth clicked the last one. General discussion reporting the end of the world. Bob 0626, user number 45, posts 1274. Fox News just reported some comet or something is heading this way. I've checked the other channels and they all seem to be talking about this Sagittarius thing. Does anyone understand what exactly they're talking about? It sounds like it was here the whole time, so why is it important now? And holy crap, why are they freaking out? 4Jesse711, user 923. Posts 88. It's not a comet, it's a black hole. And yes, it's been here, but it's moving. For whatever reason, it's moving through the solar system and it's going to knock the planets out of alignment. The sun, too. What it doesn't suck up will be out of orbit, and the temperature will plummet, putting us in a deep freeze and killing everything on Earth. Yeah, it's serious. Never forget, moderator, posts 3762. Get offline, go see your family and plan how you're going to live the last 3 months. The time for mourning is done. You've got 94 days to live. I wish I'd gotten over my daughter's suicide earlier and done more with my life now. 94 days. Until the end of the world. Seth shook his head to clear his thoughts. Police's King of Pain suddenly earwormed him. There really was a little black spot on the sun today. 94 days. And then nothing.
Sonny Lou, my parents stopped calling me Sunshine because I remind them of everything we're going to lose. I'm not even sure who Erica is anymore.
Jesus! His eyes rose from the laptop to the tattered picture on the corkboard above his dresser. From notgoth555@gmail.com to princesssunny@gmail.com, subject Rise of the Squirrel Nation. Dear Sonny, I saw... He didn't know how to finish the sentence and deleted it. He stared at the blank form. A million thoughts ran through his head. Sonny, the park, apples, playing pirates, climbing trees, his mother's brownies. Mum. Dad. 94 days.
Sonny Lou, call me now, it's all right. It's just the end of the world.
NotGoth555. At Sonny Lou. Really? You know I suck at the lyric game. Check your email.
Sonny Lou. At NotGoth555. Gasp, sob, land ho.
From NotGoth555@gmail.com to PrincessSunny@gmail.com. Subject. No subject. Erica. Wow, I haven't called you that since the first day I met you. The day you broke my blue crayon and then cried about it and got me in trouble with our kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Ford. Wow, remember her? Anyway, you are Erica. Whether you know who that is or not, that's you. It's always been you. My best friend, my confidant, my discarded wingman. And I'm sorry. Now pick yourself up and brush off that funk you're twittering. This isn't new. This has been happening our whole lives. We just found out, that's all. As it happens, everyone just found out. We've been dying since the day we were born. You could have died tomorrow. You could have died without knowing. Well, now you know. Now you can live. On the other side, there could be sunshine and flowers. Who knows? We'll find out. Right now, we just need to cram in as much fun as we can. I know it's been a while, but the world isn't gone yet. Our park won't be demolished by the developers. If we've only got 94 days, I need you to know something, to hear something. Meet me at our swings. S.
Sonny didn't close her laptop. She didn't grab her hoodie off the bed. And she left the front door wide open.
And so ends Black Hole Sun. Of the story, Kelly says, Alethea and I got the idea based on social media and the way the younger generations use these tools, extrapolating from that how they may use it during the apocalypse. We knew it would be a story between two characters, so we each wrote one of the characters. We actually went as far as creating actual Twitter accounts for these characters and mirroring their conversations there with the idea we may continue the tale afterward on Twitter. Unfortunately, life got in the way and we chose not to do that. Have you been following our serialised story Camp Myth? Chapter 10 is coming up this Wednesday, in which we meet the mighty Asterion, Camp Myth leader. Check it out on the Cast of Wonders website at castofwonders.org/camp-myth. Cast of Wonders is a production of Wolfsbane Publishing. Marguerite Kenner is your editor. Graham Dunlop, that's me, is your host and audio producer. Barry J. Northern does the artwork. It's released under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives license. Share it but don't change or sell it. Theme is Appeal to Heavens by Alexei North from musicalley.com.